can't listen and pay attention. You're talking too much. You're talking in circles. Just say what you have to say, man.
All right, you're watching Lord Willing. I believe this is episode 7. This is my better half, my lovely wife, who has told me to keep it short, keep it concise, and get right to the point.
He likes to talk.
So that's exactly what we're going over right now. But I'm listening to her. So I thought last week I told you a story about my son. And this week I'm probably going to tell you the story about me and her, or at least one. All right. So just like all marriages in the world, sometimes you go through really rough streaks, right? And a lot of times we're praying for, please, Lord, help us, get along better. Please, Lord, help us do this, whatever. We pray and we expect God to somehow miraculously just change something. Well, this change came from me, and I think that in my point of view, it has changed her by me changing me. All right, changing something I was doing. So, for example, if I make a specific point now of always when she talks to me, and I need to do this all the time, okay, and I still fail, I still have to make myself, think about it and do it, is if she starts talking to me, I want to turn towards her, or at the very minimum, I always want to acknowledge what she says. So, if she starts, it can be the most simple thing, like, oh, the snow is really pretty out there. Acknowledging her helps her understand that I value her. So, if she says, oh, the snow is really pretty out there, and I just let's pretend we're driving. She says that, and I just keep on driving. Well, she didn't ask me a question, but I should say, oh, yeah, it is really pretty. Or if I was really intense, I would say, oh, what do you like most about it? Because what that is doing is engaging in a conversation with her. And it's showing her that I'm being intentional. And that is something that we need to do with everybody. So as I started doing that more and more, I think things have gotten better and better in our relationship. Whether it is we are sitting on the couch and watching TV or whatever, if she starts talking to me or says anything, I'll turn off the TV, turn the TV volume off, and totally focus on her. Totally turn towards her, just listen. And she might not even know that I do this, but I try to do this very much. So this is something we need to work on. You brought up the thing with Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe last week came in the office. He's having a really rough morning, and he came in and he's talking to Steve, and Steve was in the middle of doing something else, or he was on his phone texting or something, and I could tell that Joe had given up, the conversation. He just kind of shrugged his shoulders and walked away, and I was like, huh. I think he was looking for some feedback from you there.
Right. And I think he even said something to me. I was working on something, and I did not, somebody came in, was trying to tell me something that was important, and I'm busy, and I didn't make any kind of eye contact with him. I didn't acknowledge Joe that I was listening. I physically was listening to him, but I never took the time to go, oh, yep, hold on, Joe. Let me finish this up real quick, and then I'll come right over and we can talk some more about it. Or I could have said, oh, okay, tell me more about it right now, et cetera, et cetera. But I didn't. I'm busy, and I didn't even though I'd listened to it, I didn't acknowledge him, and that was wrong. So I did go over to Joe and said, hey, sorry, I was busy. Sorry I didn't respond to you right then. And then I talked to him right away. But given this whole time frame that we're in right now with the holidays, I kind of thought about it. I thought about it at church this morning, was that there's a lot of people that have problems with family. There's a lot of people that are sad this time of year. There's a lot of people that aren't really understanding what Christmas is really about Jesus. But this is a way, I think that a lot of times people don't know what to do. And because people don't say real practical applications of this is a good thing to do, a very good thing to do in order to engage with people, build relationships, repair relationships, is acknowledge what people are saying, show intent, show that you are serious, show that you put your phone down, you're reading or you're doing whatever, you're scrolling. It's like, oh, yeah, the snow's really nice out there. What is one of the things you really like about it? Or it can be any kind of conversation like that. But those very simple little conversations can lead to serious conversations or more meaningful conversations. But if she doesn't feel comfortable to say anything to me and doesn't feel like I'm listening, doesn't feel like I care, she's going to stop talking. Right?
Well, you talk a lot, so.
I do. So, so I can talk for both of us. But it is something that kind of been running across my mind, and sometimes I just think that there's probably somebody out there that's looking for a way of communicating with their wife, or maybe there's somebody out there that's struggling with their communicating or even just talking to their kids. And this is one of those things. People just want to be heard, and they don't think you're hearing them. They don't think you're hearing them if you don't at least acknowledge them. So acknowledge what somebody is saying to you, and I'm bad at it. I need to always work on it, even if it's just the simplest thing. If it's your coworker, your wife, your husband, your kids, this thing I really feel will help anybody build better relationships by just acknowledge and have a conversation.
Well, it makes the other person feel that you're a priority or important in their life.
Right.
If you're only half listening, if you're listening but you're looking at your phone or you're responding to an email or a text while the person is talking, or you have the TV going and you're listening to the TV and listening to them, all those other things are taking a precedence or are dividing the
More
time.
important.
Right.
Yeah. You would, if somebody, if you came up to talk to somebody and they never stop scrolling, they're just sitting there, you feel like what you're saying to them is unimportant. You don't feel important to that person, because when that person, this is a direct change that you will see. When somebody comes and talks to you and you're doing that, if you go, boom, put the phone down, whatever it is.
Even if it's for...
And you're just listening. It could be 10 seconds.
Yeah, even if it's 20, 30 seconds. So I'm going to lead this into something even deeper. And I shared this quote with you before. I heard somebody say that if you say, I don't have time for XYZ, you're really saying it's not as important. So if you say, oh, I'm busy, I have to get this done, I don't have time for Joe, I don't have time to adjust Joe's issue right now, I'm taking care of this. Well, that means that whatever you're on the phone with or whatever you're emailing is more important than what Joe has to say or what's going on in Joe's life. So if you do that in your family too, if you like, oh, I don't have time to listen to my kid tell this story a fourth, fifth time, are you saying that whatever you're prioritizing over listening to your kid is more important? So just...
Yeah, absolutely. You're showing when you put that phone down, the book down, whatever it is, when you stop doing what you're doing to just listen, acknowledge what they're saying, that adds value. That's showing that whatever you are working on is less important than the person that you're trying to listen to.
That doesn't mean what you're working on isn't important.
No, not at all. But
you can't. You're basically telling the other person this is more important than you. This time.
Right. In the grand scheme of things, she is more important than she is more important than everything I'm working on. So if I'm working on something, I need to make a concerted effort, and I need to focus on it, work on it. Stop what I'm doing. Okay, what was that, hon?
And I will give credit and say too, there are times where I've called and he's picked up the phone and said, I'm on another call, is this really important? And I'll say, no, call me back. So,
Right.
slight acknowledgement, so.
Right. Yep. I have a good friend, Jamie, that calls me all the time, and we can preface this together, and I'll say, important? No, just call me back later. Okay, cool. Important? Well, okay. And then you listen. Okay? Same with, goes both ways for that. So hope this hasn't gotten too long or too boring for you, but put your phone down, put whatever you're doing down, and if you want to build a better relationship with your wife, your kids, co-workers, people, period, when they come to you and talk to you, stop whatever you're doing, listen, giving them an answer, even if it's, okay, cool, snow's pretty. Okay? But always stop, because all you're doing is you're showing them that they are valuable to you. If you show them that, they're going to open up more. Things are going to start changing. Things are going to get better. So, I hope this was helpful for you guys. It's not all about Lord willing and biblical things, even though I think this is biblical, that we're supposed to talk and put priority of people over the things we're doing. And I think that's all we got for you today.
I think so.
You think so? All right. So we're getting close to PRI time. So we've been trying to do this once every 2 weeks. Next week we're at the PRI show. And then the following week we're getting really close to Christmas. So maybe if you have some comments or have some stuff to say about this whole idea of just really focusing on and just stopping, acknowledging, letting them know anything that you're listening to them. Just anything kind of made any impact on you, just let me know. If you have any questions or comments, and I do respond back to, sometimes I'll respond back into your comments with an email or sometimes the email, very rarely, but maybe I'll do a topic on it or something like that. So I read the comments. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great week, because this week is busy for us.